Kimmy, I love you, girl, but some of that was some bullshit. Yo dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is back with another episode of Trainers React, the series where I use my knowledge of personal training and exercise science to analyze what is effective from Don Bruno and Kira Montero, aka how heavy are the dumbbells you lift, and what is like a bit, it needs a professional's opinion on it. And today's episode, I'm wearing my Vegeta gi because they were saying some stuff I just do not agree with. Again, I still love the series. Like, I notice some people think like, oh, if you criticize a series then you don't really love it or a true fan of it, and no, that's just saying so stupid to me, because it's like, okay, so let's say hypothetically I had a kid who was going to school who was getting A's and B's, then all of a sudden decided to get like just D's and F's, all right? If I'm a caring parent who actually cares about their kid, I'd be like, no, let's work on this, let's improve this. Like, if I didn't care about him, I would just let him keep going and get D's and F's and flunk out. So yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen. So yes, I do love this series, but there are just some things I have to talk about. But again, there's a lot of great in this episode too. There it is, there's my girl Satomi Bay. Yeah, teacher Bay's finally joined the cast. What always cracks me up is she's literally just 1 year older than me. She's age 29. That cracks me up. It's like 1 year, just one little thing. I could have been a teacher in schools, but I want to do this whole YouTube and personal training thing. But yeah, that always cracks me up. She's great. See, I love Macho because not only is he just like a freaking tank and a cool guy, but he's got that like handsome face. Like, I'm envious of that. I wish I had like a handsome face of girls that just like, oh, swoon over, but like my face is like average, all right? I give myself like a 5 or 6. Yeah, I would say 5. Body's tight though. Body's great. God, I love this part. Also, low-key love the fact that all of these characters always start off doing the Saitama workout, just that basic calisthenics routine. That's really funny to me. All right, we getting them curls for the girls or buys for the guys, whatever you into, I ain't judging. All right, yep, well, so far, I'm digging it, I'm digging it. Now, you see the thing with most of the muscle exercises they do, while I do think they're done better in the manga, which, you know, like, I can't wait for that to come out and I can just buy it and like show it to the camera, that'd be right. But yeah, I think like this is pretty well explained. The only thing I will suggest people do, and like everything he's saying about like don't arch your back, like people will do that, then that does like take away from your training unless you're doing something else, but that's for another topic for another day. And yeah, I completely agree with like you have to focus on slowly lowering it. A lot of people, when they curl, you just see people in the gym just like this. They're not really focusing on the lowering portion. But if you focus on the eccentric portion, because a lot of people focus on the concentric portion. The concentric is when you bring in the weight up and then you're curling at the top. And then like the eccentric is when you're lowering it. A lot of people will just let the weight drop. You really need to focus on lowering the weight and concentrating. Like, I'm going to like focus on slowly building and slowly lowering the weight, because you are leaving gains on the table, my friends, if you do not lower the weight slowly. So do not just swing the weight up, always focus on lowering it. That actually goes for any exercise too. If you focus on the eccentric, you can get much better results than just focusing on the concentric, which is always lifting it up. So keep that in mind. Another thing about curls I want to bring up really quickly, if you are prone to getting medial epicondylitis, and that's just a fancy name for golfer's elbows, when you get a pain inside of your elbows, twisting up the pronation curls right here where you twist up with it, that actually can be a great lifesaver. Like when I was in physical therapy, those helped me out a lot when I was doing it. But again, I'm not saying that. There's actually a whole episode coming up where we can actually talk about that kind of prevention, because they have a whole list of exercises I did in physical therapy. So, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But again, like if you feel like you constantly get pain in the inner of your elbow, just make sure to pronate the wrist and do the twist curls up. It helps so much with preventing that sort of pain. I love the faces. This is why I fell in love with the series. Like, the reaction faces are beautiful. I can't wait for when they start doing the JoJo stuff. But yeah, like Satomi, like this whole little reveal is just absolutely chef's kiss. Oh, here's a big reveal. She's been cosplaying the entire time. This 29-year-old teacher of high school students cosplays in this digital age. See, this part to me, I'm sorry, like, even for a manga that's so ridiculous and in the same world as Kengan Ashura, that is such a, just like, no one noticed. And it's not even like a Superman thing. Like, all right, if Jessica Negri was your high school teacher, I feel like most of you would notice, like even if she had like glasses and stuff like that on and just like her normal hair and downs like that, if Jessica Negri or Meg Turney were your teachers in high school, you would notice like within like a day, or like, or someone would just mention like, you know, you look a lot like this cosplayer. Oh, well, I can't help it. But no, it's something you would notice. You would honestly notice the fact that they are a cos. Like that was one part where I'm like, nah, I ain't buying that. I ain't buying that. I love it. I love you, Satomi. I love you, Satomi, baby, with your cosplay. They look really hot, and I can say that because she's 29. But yeah, that cracks me up. She's amazing. I love her. Hibiki eating like a shonen hero. Okay, like honestly, most of what Hibiki has in these bento boxes, even though it's just like complete garbage for your body, I would love that. Like if someone gave me like a big 3-box thing of bentos and was like, here you go, and it had all this food, I would be so ecstatic. I would be so happy. I'd be like, thank you so much. I'm gonna feed really well right now. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the one part of Dumbbells I just absolutely do not agree with. And funny enough, 2 years ago, when I was reading the manga for this chapter, I actually made a Tumblr post talking about like why I don't agree with it at all, because like it completely doesn't like mention like stuff like intermittent fasting, which is very beneficial and helped me and a ton of clients. And if you actually want to know any of my nutritional thoughts on stuff like that, be sure to check out my 3-leg stool of fitness video I did back in 2016. Be sure to check out my nutrition video I did in 2017. And be sure to check out my, you know, cheat day video and stuff like that. I go really in depth with it. Now, there are, of course, always various studies to bring up left and right, like this side doesn't work, so I always apply things to myself to see how they work. And I found what she's saying, that for me, intermittent fasting works phenomenally. It helped me get lean. It was actually what I did for my 5-month transformation video, for those of you who remember that. And also, I just find it helps me a lot with my appetite, so I don't overeat like on like unnecessary foods throughout the day. Now, what Akemi says about like you should eat more like steamed and baked and healthy stuff, I agree with that 100%. I agree with all of that 100%. Like you shouldn't be eating greasy, fatty, unhealthy foods, because that's not good for there. But like this whole thing of like this will not help you in this regard because of insulin or things, while there is some truth to that, I would just like to take the time, and I actually made an entire whiteboard of this that we're about to get into. Since nutrition is one of the most important things that you have to focus on if you're trying to get a truly fit and healthy body, I've decided to break it down and do this little whiteboard example to just make it super easy for anyone to follow along with, and how you can go about finding your own method to find like what fits your lifestyle and what works best for you. Just because a lot of people get like a certain way, but let's just get right into it. So, when you get into fitness, like I've seen so many variations of these from my college years, high school years, even like on YouTube. Like you see a ton on YouTube, like it doesn't matter. But like there are just so many people who have their certain opinion of how things work. Now sometimes their opinions are like really good, but then sometimes their opinions can be harming. Sometimes their opinions are a bit overbearing, and then sometimes their opinions are just like, wow, that's like the perfect sweet spot. So I'm just gonna go over all of them really quickly and just explain it, make this easy to understand. So let's start with the first extreme. All right, over here you have people who are just super strict about everything they know about nutrition. They think they found the best diet and nutrition advice for all of mankind, and they share it. And if you don't buy along with it, they will freaking like cuss you out and make you feel like an idiot and just say like, no, you were wrong. This is why it works. Studies show. This is why thing, like I mentioned last week, studies show. But sometimes they butt heads with other people who find diets that they think are very beneficial too, and they'll be like, no, my studies show this is right. No, my studies show this is right. And then they get into like this little thing where they're like, you're cherry picking, and they go back and forth. And so it's just a big argument and violent, and you don't want any of that unnecessary BS in your life. So we're just gonna walk over here, because sometimes it's good. Sometimes some of the advice they have is like, oh, that's pretty solid. It's just the way you're going about it isn't really appealing. So it's like you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, I'll say that. Then we move over here to the people in the primarily if it fits your macros category, where people will pretty much just go, I can eat like pizza, burgers, and ice cream and all this greasy, unhealthy food and still get in shape. And these people are typically very ripped and very in shape and focus at if it fits your macros diet. And that can work, because as long as you stay in a caloric deficit, remember like I mentioned my 3-leg stool of fitness video and all my other videos talking about this very subject, as long as you stay in a caloric deficit, you will lose the body fat. Like that's just the science of how it works. If you are below your maintenance level of calories for the day and you consistently work out and just like train and get plenty of bed rest, you will eventually like lose fat regardless of what you're consuming. Now, some people will argue against that, but from my experience and from my clients' experience too, this does work as long as you're staying in that caloric deficit. The problem here becomes is that a lot of people are focusing externally, but they're not focusing internally. So what I mean by that is like a lot of people are focused on the aesthetics, like how they look, and they can look like freaking Greek gods and amazing, but they're not taking into account like all that grease and all the plaque that's building up in their internal organs, because you really have to focus on your health, like your heart, your lungs, all of that stuff. Like a lot of people negate that too. It's too late. Like for example, I'm not gonna put 5 of my friends on blast right now because y'all 5 know who you are, but some of my friends in my early 20s were talking about, oh, I just eat all this stuff and I'm great, but now they're hitting like 31, 32 and they have high blood pressure and a lot of like heart burn issues that they feel like going on because of this diet that they did when they were younger. So that's why I always promote you have to focus on finding something healthy and balanced, because if you eat like this all the time, that's not really good for your organs, your internal organs. That's what you really got to focus on. Remember, like the body externally will eventually fade, like it's going to look like but if as long as you keep your organs and stuff healthy, you can keep training and be like healthy and fit for a much longer time than these people who just like destroy it with that stuff. So keep that in mind. Then we Goldilocks book it all the way to the middle, and we've hit that perfect balance, just right meal planning for a lot of people out there. So what that means is they're not overly indulgent in the greasy, unhealthy foods, but they also aren't overly indulgent in like, oh, this is the only diet I could ever follow for the rest of my life. Anything else is heresy, so I could never just follow that like thing. And then if you don't follow this diet, they're just very chill in the middle with perfect healthy eating plan. Because remember, I personally don't like the phrase diet, because a diet implies I'm going to come off this one day. So for example, I'll put it to you like this. Imagine you got really great results, but the way you got those really great results was you followed a diet you hated for 5 months. Like you did not like the diet for 5 months, and then after those 5 months were over, you had an amazing physique, but you're like, I'm hungry, I want to go enjoy my life. And so you go enjoy your life, and then like for 2 or 3 weeks later, you're back to square one, or back to like not looking as great as you wanted to look because you want to maintain that. Now that happens to so many people. They actually talked about it in the last dumbbell episode. So what you want to do is, if you followed a healthy eating plan, which lets you stay consistent year round, which is all what I always talk about. This is one of the main things I was talking about in my 3-leg stool of fitness video that I did 3 years ago, is if you can find a meal plan, like a healthy eating plan for yourself that you can follow effortlessly, that's going to help you like stay perfect for your life. And there's so many ways to go about finding a perfect nutrition plan for yourself. For example, you can just do like an 85% 15, where you eat 85% healthy nutritious foods. That means like you're just eating like the bulk of your foods for the day are just healthy and fit, and then like you have like a cookie or ice cream, and that's not really gonna hurt you. For example, if you're familiar with Shaun T of the Insanity workout program, this is what he does year round, and it's able to help him stay in phenomenal shape year round. Or if you feel like I can't control myself if I have just one little sweet snack, then you could always have a cheat day or a refeed day, which is just where you eat super healthy and clean and then just have one indulgence day a week. So like you would eat clean 6 days a week and then have one indulgence day where you just eat whatever you want. Like think of it as a mental day off. It's not something where you have to like really focus on your diet. You just focus on like, I'm going to eat whatever I want this day, instead of just focusing on eating healthy these other days. But let me go further in depth explaining this. Now you see there's this hormone in your body called leptin. It's basically the anti-starvation hormone. And basically back in times of famine, when we were like cavemen and we had to conserve energy, this would allow us to hold on to extra fat, and like so we didn't have to worry about dying. Like so if we didn't go have food, like readily available food, because we would go have to like, you know, kill a boar or saber-tooth tiger or like, you know, freaking mammoth or something like that, and then we wouldn't be able to eat it. We would just eat a bunch of it, and then it would store as fat, and then we could like live off that fat for a couple days. But the problem is now we have food like, I mean, it's not really a problem, I don't know why I said that. It's phenomenal that we have this. We are able to get food any time of day, any type of where, like if you're not able to, I apologize, but we're able to just get food anytime because, you know, just fridge right there. So a lot of the problem with this leptin hormone is your body will sometimes think you are starving yourself, and so it will do all it can to hold on to the body fat onto your body, because it's like, dude, are you starving? Are we dying? Do I need some help? Like, what's going on here? But you're just eating less than you need to because you want to burn that fat. So that's how a cheat day or a refeed day can actually be beneficial, because when the leptin levels are high, it's easier to burn more fat. So for example, a lot of people who have issues with losing that last 10 pounds, like they're losing so much fat that they think like, I am never going to cheat again in my life. This is what actually holds them back. Their leptin levels are just like, what is going on here? I am dying. We need to like stop. So like, this is why a refeed day or a cheat day is very beneficial. And another thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration, for a lot of people, this actually happened to me too, is when you start eating healthy, nutritious, balanced foods like this, your tongue adapts. Like, you don't want to eat like junk food. Like, I remember this happened to me a few years ago. I went to Burger King and I had like onion rings, a bacon burger, and a Coke. And this was after like 3 months of me just eating healthy, nutritious foods and then like having like a bit of a refeed day. After that, like an hour later, I pretty much went some Tokyo Ghoul shit and threw up in the freaking bathroom. Like, I felt so sick, like it did nothing for me. And I think of that, some people think of that as like, well, that's horrible, but it's like, that's actually really, really beneficial, because it's like, my body is now evolving to a point where I don't need this crap. I'm using stuff that's balanced and I'm feeling better, I'm moving better, and I'm just getting all these awesome qualities that go along with healthy nutrition and eating. So that's why I suggest to people, like, if you feel like you don't want to have a cheat day, because some people just love that indulgence of just like, oh yeah, I'm just feel like a king and eat yourself. I don't feel like you should eat yourself to feeling sick, because some people do that and I don't think that's fun, but I have a whole video on that topic. I think you should just like find what you like find a nice little way to refeed. But again, this is just if you're trying to like, you feel like I really need a cheat day or something like that. But I do think like one cheat day a week would not hurt you, or one refeed day a week would not hurt you, as just help you. Like, that's my honest to God opinion. It's helped me, it's helped my clients, it helps a lot of people. But now let me help you find your healthy nutrition eating plan that you want to try for yourself, that you don't have to like stress about it. This is the #1 way to figure out if nutrition is helping you or hurting you, because like, that's the main thing. You want this to constantly help you, want your body to build from it. So what I suggest doing is this right here. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now is show you the bar none way to like get yourself a nice healthy nutrition plan to see if it works for you. Like, this works for everyone. I don't care who you are, this would work for anyone trying to see if your diet is helping you or hurting you. So what you want to do is, the very first thing, I'm going to give you 2 ways because some people don't have health insurance, so I'm going to make that very clear. This first way is the most ideal way, so I just want to put that out there for you. First thing you want to do, go to a doctor, get your physical done, blood work, see where you are at like health wise. You want to measure your health and just know the platform you are at, because you want to make sure like with your diet you are increasing, not decreasing. That is the most important thing. You want your nutrition to be helping you, not hurting you. So no matter what diet it is, like just whatever diet you want to follow or something like that, like healthy eating plan, again, like you're trying it out. So you do that diet for 2 weeks. After all of this, after you've done all the blood work stuff. Then you go to the doctors again 2 weeks later. Make sure you don't have a cheat day. Make sure you have a refeed day of just like higher calorie foods from the thing you're trying out. But make sure you try it out again. Now, 2 weeks go by. You most likely will see improvements because you're eating less processed crap. You're not eating like a bunch of junk food. You're eating the like hopefully a nutritious diet that's full of like stuff that's going to help your body out. Now, what you want to do with that, just to keep that in mind, is to keep alternating from now on, from that point. You want to see if your body is improving or if your body is decreasing. Because if your body is improving, then that means like, okay, this nutrition is working for me, and everybody is different, reacts differently, so I know this works well for me. This works well for me, I'm going to keep doing it. But if it is going down, or you notice like, oh, your heart's getting clogged, all this stuff is like, you're in plaque buildup, you're feeling like your blood pressure's going up and you're looking at it, then that's probably an idea to say, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And the other way to go about doing it, now this is not ideal, but it can help just to see like, oh, if your nutrition works for you. Again, like I think the doctor is like the ideal one, but if you can't, measure your energy levels, measure your mood, and measure like how you feel fitness wise. Like you want to make sure your body feels good and replenished. You don't want to feel like, oh my God, I feel like crap, like my heart is giving out on me, my chest feels tight, or you feel like crap every single day. If you feel like crap every single day on your diet, then that is not helping you. That is just like frailing you up. That is not going to be good for the long run. So you always make sure you feel like I'm fulfilled in what I'm eating. I'm feeling like satisfied. I'm feeling like this is nourishing me. I'm putting fuel in the gas tank, not mud in the gas tank. That's the feeling you want to go for no matter what you are feeling. Also, if you want just more information on this stuff, be sure to check out my other 3 videos, my 3 Like Stool of Fitness video, my video from 2017, and my cheat day video, just to go further in depth. This was just to help you find a baseline of how you can find a healthy nutrition plan, because while I love Don Bruden and Kira Matero, this whole thing right here, like I agree with what Akemi's saying, like you shouldn't eat like fried foods, you shouldn't eat unhealthy foods, you shouldn't eat like those consistently, but the whole thing of like, okay, this would affect your blood like that, and one is just pretty much intermittent fasting, I really do not agree with that. So that's why I just want to make this as easy to follow along with and hope it can help out a ton of people watching this. Vicky, I love you. Never change. Like, that actually looks like a quality cheat day. You know what? For my Sunday fun day, I think I'm gonna try this exact thing she's eating. And I love the fact that I can now call like my cheat days Hibiki days, and people will understand the reference. Before I was like, today is a Hibiki day, and like, what are you talking about? Now I can finally say that, and a lot of people will get the reference. So I love that. So I don't see how people can't recognize it's a wig, though. I understand like the concept. That is honestly some Hannah Montana shit. That's not even Superman Clark Kent. That is some Hannah Montana crap right there. Oh God. I love the reaction bases in this series. Machio Kenshiro, GOAT. Just absolute GOAT. Oh my God. And the name of their series, the name of the series I'm thinking it's from, oh God, I love this series. It's funny how I went on like that whole tirade a while ago, but now it's just like I'm back to loving it again. Because I wish I could find a good Kenshiro cosplay, but if I was able to flex and it would break apart like that, I would be livid. Let's talk about the shoulder press, because that's what Machio Kenshiro is doing right now. And again, everything they're showing, pretty good. You know, like everything, like I would not disagree. Again, I think the manga did show a little bit better, but like again, I highly agree with it. One of the best strength builders, mass builders. If you want to get that nice like V-taper, like where you're going down from here to here, then this is one of the best exercises for that. And I agree with like don't arch your back, because that will F it up. But one thing I will say that I think does a better job at working yourself without getting injured, because some people will do the shoulder press right here. Now if you were like me, who's had a shoulder tear in the past and shoulder impingement, then I completely agree with Athlete Next way of where you just stay in the frontal plane, because that's completely natural for your shoulder, and you just do a neutral grip. And so what I do is I either have to use a log bar, and a log bar is what strongmen use, where they have to, you know, it's a neutral grip and you're able to press it, or I just use 2 dumbbells and I always stay right here locked, and then I press right here and go. And that does nothing to like take me out of my plane of motion where I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel right, because it's like literally a natural feeling plane. So always keep that in mind too if you have like any shoulder impingements. But if you're a powerlifter or something like that who's mastered it and you have no issues, and everything they showed here, perfect. Chef's kiss. I love at the end how they have now all of them together. Like, I love how they keep adding. Like, I can't wait for them to add Xena. So Xena should probably be in like the next couple episodes, but yeah, I love this. Well, dudes and dudettes, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you learned something. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. I upload like every week. I've been focusing on uploading every week, and there will always be a video in between my trainers react videos, because I'm not just like one like trick pony or anything like that. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, that bell icon, that'll let you know the second I upload. Be sure to check out my myriad of other videos on my channel. Like, I got tons of other stuff that's not just anime related, not just comic related, or like cartoon related. There's just so much stuff on my channel that you can have fun with. I'm pretty sure I covered at least one of your favorite series in the past, so definitely go check those out. And for those of you who are actually interested in getting like an actual gym routine, but they don't know what to do, and they actually want a meal plan as well that like is a custom made for you, be sure to check out my Athletic Hero build. It's a program I made following My Hero Academia's All Might's training plan he made for Deku with the meal plan and weight training and all that stuff. And you can just check that down in the description box below. And of course, if you want to work out at home, I have a Mighty Guide program, which is just all calisthenics, all body weight to help you build muscle, burn fat at home from the convenience of your place. And if you don't have the will or motivation to do these things, then I have a whole like little series called A Hero's Will, which helps you build up the will to actually want to train. So you want to be better, you want to be like the characters you're watching, so like you can be consistent like these and build up those neural pathways like we mentioned in episode 1. But thank you all for watching. I hope this was a fun episode. And remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, Momentai. Hope you have a great day. Now, nice bulk!